Thank you so much for tuning in to Circling Dialogos. If you are inspired by what we talk about on this channel and want to dive deeper and in fellowship with others, there's a number of ways you can do that. One is to become my client and work one-on-one with me. We also have circling events every week open to the public. We also do weekend intensives for circling every 4 to 6 weeks or so. And we have a year-long Art of Circling practitioner training program. We also have self-study programs that you can do at your own pace. All the relevant links, including my email, is below in the show notes. Please let me know if you have any questions.
This past year, I did a 6-day darkness retreat, and one of the deep insights of that retreat was that I needed to learn the style of horror because my craft is writing, and I had not ever really tried to learn that craft. And so, long story short, when I got out, I got into it, and what my insight was is that good horror is able to bring the reader into confrontation with some set of brutal facts about existence that most stories don't look at, but can still weave the thread of the good, the true, and the beautiful. That's actually like good horror, but most horror, the creators don't have that capacity. And so it's just like, you know, jump scares and gore.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that is a type of medium that I'm not interested in, but the chef's kiss horror is when brutal facts are confronted, but there's still this weaving of the good, the true, and the beautiful.
yeah.
And something while I was studying this, pinged me to rewatch the movie Annihilation. And I read a book at the beginning of this year called Process and Event, which is a philosophy book that is the most like audacious and inspiring book of philosophy I have read since I first found Nietzsche.
Alexander Barth? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
s- I'm so glad that you're familiar with their oh my God. Yes.
Totally.
Okay. Okay, so that book was the book that I started reading at the beginning of this year that helped me recognize how big of a fucking deal the internet is. Like that to a degree that I had never appreciated.
Yeah.
And so with that in the back of my mind, I rewatched this movie and like halfway through I was like, I think this is about the internet. And so then that's when I started doing all this research on like the creators and that's when I found all of these synchronicities about like from a Jungian standpoint, this is as clean of a alchemical creative process as I've ever seen that
Mm,
could produce a genuinely new myth. And so
mm,
like the four qualities of the shimmer as articulated in the movie is the first one is that people who go into it get confused and they start to hurt each other or hurt themselves.
yeah,
The next feature of it is that the people who enter it start to experience what's called retrograde amnesia, where like they forget how they got there and they can't form new memories and they just start to like skip in time.
yeah,
The third one is that all biological life inside of the shimmer rapidly mutates and cross pollinates. And then the fourth quality is that there are these creatures inside of the shimmer called crawlers
yeah,
that seem to have almost like the only thing that the human archetypical categories that can begin to grok it would be to call it a predator, but it's not a predator. Like the thing about the movie that's so eerie is it's like it has the relentless pursuit of the desire to copy the host that feels predatorial, like that type of relentless pursuit. But like that whole scene in the end where it's like it's just mirroring
yeah,
is it's like
yeah,
it doesn't want to kill as much as it just wants to consume
yeah,
your form to become you. So if we translate this to like what are the some of the aspects of the internet that we're just starting to see?
yeah,
One, teenagers self-harming themselves is skyrocketing. So that's the first one.
Mm.
The political bifurcation of our culture has gone up dramatically in response to, the internet and phones, blah, blah, blah. So that's the first one, is that the people who go into it, they either start to kill themselves or they kill each other. Two is the retrograde amnesia. I went deep into the research on basically how has our attentional systems been injured since, in the last like 20 years because of the internet. And
Mm.
long story short, the proliferation of multitasking has gone up so dramatically that it actually impairs people's capacity to form new memories. And it
Mm.
does all these other things. So
Mm.
that's point two.
Mm.
Point three is the the material that is rapidly mutating and cross pollinating in the internet is not genetic, but mimetic.
Mm.
Memes are evolving and cross, and that, like, no one has a coherent story
Yeah.
anymore because everything is just mutating faster than we can possibly
Yeah.
grasp it. And the fourth one is the crawlers. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all of these companies are competing with each other to create models of their users that can help them predict what is the best time to show what ad to them.
Yeah.
So these crawlers are attempting, billion-dollar companies, multiple billion-dollar companies are competing with each other with their capacity to create models of us
Yeah.
to then deliver us, the ads that we want. The big thing, like, that the movie doesn't even get to is like what AI is.